Be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's your boy AJ Scholars back once again with another video. Welcome aboard to the AJ Scholars YouTube channel. So in today's video, we're going to talk about a monument commonly known as the Statue of Liberty that attracts approximately 3.2 million tourists. And way back in the 19th century, Americans were subjected to slavery, and as a sign of liberation, this commonly known as the Statue of Liberty monument was set up as a sign of liberation, and it was built by Gustavo Eiffel and dedicated in October 26th, 1886. Welcome aboard to the AJ Scholars YouTube channel. Please, if you're new here, kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe, click on the bell so that you don't miss any of my latest videos. Share the video. So in today's video, we're going to talk about the history, height, and location of the Statue of Liberty. Let's get straight into the video. Thank you all guys for being loyal. If you're new here, please be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. The Statue of Liberty is a colossal neoclassical sculpture on Liberty Island in New York Harbor within New York City in the United States. The copper statue, a gift from the people of France to the people of the United States, was designed by a French sculptor, Frederic August, and its metal framework was built by Gustavo Eiffel. The statue was dedicated on October 28, 1886. The statue is a figure of Liberty, a robed Roman liberty goddess. She holds a torch above her head with her right hand, and in her left hand carries a tabular answer inscribed July 4, 1776. The date of the U.S. Declaration of Independence, a broken shackle and a chain lie at her feet as she walks forward, commemorating the recent national abolition of slavery. After this dedication, the statue became an icon of freedom and of the United States, seen as a symbol of welcome to immigrants arriving by sea. Berthold was inspired by a French law professor and politician, Edward, who is said to have commented in 1865 that any monument raised to U.S. independence would be properly a joint project of the French and U.S. people. The Franco-Prussian War delayed progress until 1875, when Edward proposed that the French finance the statue and the U.S. provide the site and build the statue. Berthold, the head and the torch-bearing arm before the statue was fully designed, and these pieces were exhibited for publicity at international expositions. The torch-bearing arm was displayed at the Centennial Exposition in Philadelphia in 1876 and in Madison Square Park in Manhattan from 1876 to 1882. Fundraising proved difficult, especially for the Americans, and by 1885 work on the statue was threatened by a lack of funds. Publisher Joseph of the New York World started a drive for donations to finish the project and attracted more than 120,000 contributors, most of whom gave less than $1. The statue was built in France, shipped overseas in crates, and assembled on the completed statue on what was then called Bedloe's Island. The statue's completion was marked by New York's first trick-or-treat parade, and dedication ceremony was presided over by President Grover Cleveland. The statue was administered by the United States Lighthouse Board until 1901, and then by the Department of War since 1933. It has been maintained by the National Park Service as a part of the Statue of Liberty National Monument and is a major tourist attraction. Public access to the balcony around the torch has been barred since 1996. President Calvin officially designated the Statue of Liberty as part of the Statue of Liberty National Monument in 1924. The monument was expanded to also include Ellis Island in 1965. The following year, the Statue of Liberty and Ellis Island were jointly added to the National Register of Historic Places and the statue individually in 2017. On the sub-national level, the Statue of Liberty National Monument was added to the New Jersey Register of Historic Places in 1971 and was made a New York City designated landmark in 1976. In 1984, the Statue of Liberty was designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The UNESCO Statement of Significance describes the statue as a masterpiece of human spirit that endures, a highly potent symbol inspiring completion, death, and protest of ideals such as liberty, peace, human rights, abolition of slavery, democracy, and opportunity. Thank you all guys for watching. It has been your boy AJ Scholars right here once again with another video.
The Statue of Liberty, known the world over as a symbol of freedom and promise. A gift from the people of France to commemorate their country's close bonds with the colonies during the Revolution, America's Lady of Liberty has stood faithful vigil in New York Harbor for nearly 70 years. Building the towering figure and transporting it across the Atlantic was a monumental task. An artist's sketch made in the 1870s reveals how the statue rose over the rooftops of Paris during its construction. The work was supervised by Frederic August brilliant French sculptor who conceived the idea during a visit to New York. The hand and torch were sent to America in 1876 and shown at the Philadelphia Centennial Exposition, marking the 100th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. Civil War veterans joined in the patriotic rallies held to raise funds for a pedestal for the statue. In 1885, work began on reassembling the figure, which had been dismantled in France for shipment to the United States in 210 packing cases. The head was completed last. Here, craftsmen working from the inside rivet copper sheeting over the framework of Liberty's 17-foot-high face. By the rocket's red glare, President Cleveland dedicated Miss Liberty in 1886. Today, her torch still throws out its beacon of welcome and hope to all who seek shelter in America. By ferry, more than 500,000 visitors journey each year to Bedloe's Island, on which the copper Colossus stands. Countless thousands of youngsters have thrilled to their first glimpse of her. Mounted on a pedestal of concrete and granite, her body fashioned out of metal, she is still every inch a warm, inspiring symbol of man's faith in freedom. Bartholdi's mother was his model for liberty. Working from a 9-foot cast of her in plaster, he computed the dimensions of the proposed statue and constructed it in sections. A news magazine cameraman from the Torch films the New York City skyline more than half a mile away. 300 feet above the bay, here is a camera eye view of the tiny Bedloe's Island, once an army fort with 70 guns and a garrison of 350 men. Visitors can, if they wish, climb inside the statue to the head, which is 10 feet thick and will hold 30 persons. Past Liberty's gallant, ageless lady have come immigrants of all nations. They have found the meaning of the famous sonnet by Emma Lazarus. Mother of exiles, from her beacon hand glows worldwide welcome. Her mild eyes command the air-bridged harbor that twin cities frame. Keep ancient lands your storied pomp, cries she with silent lips. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free, the wretched refuse of your teeming shores. Send these, the homeless, tempest-tossed, to me. I lift my lamp beside the golden door.